Hello, my name's Phil Owens and welcome to Fork Talk. Today I'm going to be taking you around some of my favourite places in Soho for eating and drinking. A place that's been close to my heart for 30 years. We're off to Bone Daddies in Peter Street, which is one of my favourite places to lunch for a bowl of Ramen. Oh, hi Ross.
Hello mate, how are you?
Yeah, good, thank you. Thanks for seeing us today.
No problem.
As you know, it's one of my favourite places. I've come really to find out a bit more about what's going on with Flesh and Bun.
Bone Daddies does a izakaya, effectively.
Okay.
I mean, there's this stereotype.
It's like a Japanese pub, isn't it?
Yeah, Japanese pub. There's this stereotype, I think, at least in London, that still exists, that a Japanese restaurant either has to be very high-end or very traditional. And so we're trying to just create that sense of, don't think of Japan as just being super formal and strict.
Yeah.
It's just delicious and enjoy it. And that for me was symbolic of those subcultures or those juxtapositions, I guess, of Japanese culture.
Yeah.
I think so long as it's not forced.
Yeah.
You know, when it's forced and people are doing it as a gimmick or trying, and you know, then it doesn't work.
Sure.
Bone Daddies ultimately, I think, can be anything Japanese and anything meat related.
Absolutely,
you know, so we could do. I'd like to do a Japanese chicken restaurant, you know, or a Japanese fish restaurant, or a Japanese steakhouse, or you know, and it could all come under that Bone Daddies brand.
Fantastic. I should look forward to that. Thanks very much. I think we're going to have some something to eat now.
Do it, mate. Let's do it.
That's me happy after my fix of T22. Also on today's menu was some corn and char siu croquettes, which were fantastic. I'm now off to Gelupo for ice cream in Archer Street. Gelupo is associated with Bocca di Lupo, which is a fantastic Italian restaurant from Jacob Kenneby, which is on the right-hand side, but Gelupo over here. We're going to find out about all the lovely ice cream flavours and also about G-Fit, which is a new ice cream that has been developed to eat after training. Oh, hi Simon.
Hey.
Thanks for meeting us today. Come here to find out all about your lovely ice cream. It's one of my favourite places in Soho to come for ice cream.
Awesome, thank you.
Can you tell me a bit more about the Italian ice cream and how it differs from your regular ice cream?
Yeah, so we make, as you say, a very Italianate form of ice cream called Gelato, which is completely different from standard ice cream, which tends to be very rich, very heavy, quite fatty, so full of double cream and egg yolks, that kind of thing. We take away all of that, so we have predominantly a milk base, or in the case of our fruit sorbets, a fruit base, I suppose. And we just very cleverly kind of blend sugars together, so a little bit of sugar, dextrose, glucose, and getting that in balance gives you this really creamy texture without having to add lots of cream.
And tell me about G-Fit. I'm particularly interested in finding out about G-Fit. This is a new protein ice cream that's really good for training.
So it's this is our latest project really. It's full of whey protein isolate, which is it's a kind of byproduct of cheese production, or ricotta production in particular.
Yes.
And it's a very high intensity protein, so it's a powder that's about 90% protein. And we use that in place of lots of the fat in our traditional gelati.
Okay.
So what you get is this it's a sort of an ice cream-like product, which is very high in protein, really low in fat, really low in sugar, very high in fibre. But because it's still made with fresh milk and lots of good natural ingredients, fresh strawberries, vanilla pods, it's really good for you.
So really, it's just like having a protein shake after you've been training.
Yeah, but actually tastes
a lot more fun. And what about flavours? Can you do them in different flavours?
Yeah, we're hoping to develop a few new flavours. We've currently got chocolates, vanilla, banana and strawberry.
Fantastic.
But I'm sure there'll be more on the way.
That was fantastic. Some wonderful new flavours this afternoon. Watermelon, elderflower and jasmine was sensational. Now it's time to walk off that ice cream. thank you, Andres, for seeing us today.
No, my pleasure.
I think it was probably one of the first sort of new wave Peruvian restaurants to open in London.
Yeah, there wasn't really any other Peruvian restaurant in London, and like giving that Peruvian vibe and promoting, you know, the artists, the music, and all these things, you know.
So what are the most popular dishes on the menu?
That would be the Don Ceviche. That's the first recipe on the book as well.
Well, we had that at the Soho Food Feast, and I must say that it was a standout dish at the weekend. It was stunning. It was so good. Really, really good.
Ceviche is like the most popular dish in Peru, to be honest.
What I also like about here is that there's a lot of chica. There's a lot of playfulness. There's a lot of chicha. So it's fun, and it's following the current trend for being really accessible and small plates. It's good for sharing. The vibe is really fun.
It's a small restaurant, but we got so many people coming in here, and like everyone is just having a great time. You know, like from the music, from the cocktails, from everyone that works here. You know, some of the characters that we always look to work with us are people that is having fun, that is always smiling, and they have that cheekiness, that Peruvian cheekiness, you know.
Yeah.
So I think we do that really well out here. So.
And that runs throughout the whole business.
And then, you know, that we transmit that to the customers, and then, you know.
And I think it's very important to get that vibe. Lots of pisco sours.
Yeah, exactly.
So what makes your pisco sours the best? I think they're the
best.
That's
a secret recipe from the magic hands from the bartenders, you know.
Yeah, well, it's really working.
So it's pretty good here. All the cocktails here in general are really, really good. Our own creations as well, the macerados that we have, and the classic ones as well, the pisco sour, the chicano.
Sure. You know, and tell me a bit more about the tiger's milk, which is the liquid that is formed in the bottom of the ceviche when it marinates.
Yeah, exactly. Well, it's basically lime, chili, salt, ginger, coriander, and a few more things, you know, but the acidity of the lime cooks the fish, so it's a cold way of cooking. In Peru as well, we drink the tiger's milk on its own.
Yes.
But on a big shot.
I hear that it's very good if you have too many pisco sours to have some tiger's milk.
It wakes you up, eh? After a hangover, having a shot of tiger's milk is the best thing you could ever have.
Okay.
Better than Red Bull or anything. That's old school.
Perfect. Well, I think after all this talk of pisco sours, we need to have one and sample one.
Yeah. I think we should have one now. Hello.
Well, thanks very much, Alejandro.
No, thank you for coming.
Thank you.
No worries.
Well, that was another marvellous lunch. I've had a fantastic day with some wonderful food on my Soho safari, starting off in Japan, going to Italy, and then ending up in Peru. This is Phil Owens. Thanks very much. Look forward to joining you again on another Soho safari.